So
Hi.
here's what?
Hi.
Hi.
I can't stop thinking about that Eurosport.
I know. Now that you said Eurosport, I can't get it out of my head. And yes, I did have a celebrity, and no, I would never own that again, to be straight. I asked the supporters of the channel who donated to it kind of what they thought. And it was interesting to see the difference in opinions. There was a guy on there, is hardcore. He's like, all these modern cars are bullshit. He wants something with no driver's aids, has one seat in it, you know, straight up full horsepower. It can kill you. That's a real sports car.
Right.
You know, that's to him. But other people commented and said, you know, one of the reasons why sports cars are kind of dying is because your mainstream cars, like your Camry and Accord V6s, are so fast now in a straight line. You can get a Maxima that, you know, is pretty quick, and it's faster than some of these eco sports cars. Like, we joke around about the 86 and the Miata, and while they're really fun to drive, you know, a minivan on a street start can blow the doors off of it.
Right.
So what people find in a sports car is different now because our mainstream cars are a lot quicker than they used to be.
There's not a lot to pick from.
No, there's not. And Scott,
Why can't they make an S2000 with a V8 in it, lightweight V8 and 600 horsepower, and get rid of all the garbage?
Well,
if you're
people
going to
were
go
talk-
kill yourself on the first street, go do it. You should learn how to drive.
and that's an excellent point, because there's two sides to that. One, you get enthusiasts that are suing automotive manufacturers like Ford because
For making a track park car?
Yeah, a track park car that didn't have coolers in it, that they knew when they bought it didn't have the track pack, and then they're going to try to take it to the track. And then when it doesn't work properly, which I was involved in all the press events, the Ford reps clearly said, well, the GT350 without the track pack is a way for the people that don't take it to the track to enjoy a lot of the car without having to have all that. They said it flat out. Why did you go and buy a car without a track pack and then take it to the track? I mean, what do you think's going to happen? And it's, again, it's stuff like that.
I mean, like any car you buy almost, how track worthy is it really?
True. Very little.
I mean, you're going to buy the BMW for 80 grand and it's not.
It's not.
It's partially track worthy.
Right. These cars are, again, that's a great point. A lot of these sports cars, you can take them to a track in a limited fashion. You have to still work within the confines of what they really are, and that is.
But even the GT350. All right, you got a nice track-capable car. Great. Okay, you get bored of it and you want to start racing it. Well, you should have bought whatever that model is called, the real race car.
Right.
Or how much is it going to cost to convert it into a real race car? It's astronomical.
Yep.
To make it a legitimate contender.
I agree with you.
You're not going to just buy a roll cage from eBay and put some slicks on it and go. There's so much to it. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much goes into a car that can last an hour session, full balls the entire time, and how much maintenance it really is. Buy a Porsche, that's probably the most problem. That's like buying your Honda, you know?
Right, yeah.
This shit just goes. But, I mean, like when I was doing the World Challenge stuff, the Viper, every 2 races they were swapping the motors on them at 30 grand a pop. Why would you race it? Why? And it's like you can give it back to them at 2 races before it blows up and say, here, give me another motor. No, you're on the hook for every motor. That's crazy.
There's a huge difference between all that stuff. And again, that comes back down to the enthusiasts not really knowing. They seem to think they know, but they don't know.
There's that giant leap that once you're around it, you realize, you know what? I'd rather just buy something, a spec racer Ford, and spend 40 grand on an initial purchase price of a car and go have a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. And this comes down to the last 2 points about it. One, you started to touch on it as a joke, but I really think that it's time for some manufacturers to look at reissuing some of these older cars. They've already had the investment in development. I don't understand why you couldn't go and bring back some of their older cars that were big hits.
HSV or whatever that accurate thing was.
Yeah, the pre-NSX with the V10 in it. I mean, bring back an S2000, bring back an old Skyline.
And not a freaking hybrid.
Right. Bring it back as the original car and sell it as a limited production thing. Improve the safety a little bit. You already have the technology to improve stability and structure. I would love to see some reissue cars, which are never going to happen.
What's an S2000 going to cost these days? 60 grand?
No, the thing is
50?
we have this argument. I have this argument with a lot of people about the cost of inflation on cars. Well, the S2000 would cost $50,000 or $40,000 if you bought it today. That's bullshit, because they've already invested in all the manufacturing. They have the tooling. They have everything all
Oh, you're saying bring that car
Bring the
back.
car,
Don't redesign it.
reissue it,
Oh, I thought
reissue
you
it.
meant redesign it.
It would cost them less now to remanufacture a frame. I mean, 15 years ago, there was, compared to today's manufacturing process, it's way easier to make some of those cars than it used to be. I would like to see them do it, and I think it would be an interesting experiment. Nobody's really done that yet.